My friends, I'm in Malibu, and every year the city here will erect thousands of flags that represent real people, real nationalities. In the background, you will see the majority of these being US flags. You have a German flag in the midst. And as I wander through here, I'm reminded how important safety and security for all citizens, not just for American citizens, but for all citizens worldwide. And that the governments, the institutions have a duty to keep their people safe. Now, after this horrific incident on 9/11/2001, when these planes flew into the towers and killed, as many or even more people and died in Pearl Harbor, things changed big time, right? You can right away, all security, all safety laws tightened up. Today we have things called real ID, passports were tightened up, security checks at airports tightened up, scanning systems were introduced, and the emphasis was put on safety and security. Now, in the business that we are in, we are in a rideshare channel, and you might find this rather strange why Torsten's walking through hundreds, thousands of flags, right? What I want to say is, it's sad that it takes a huge tragedy for human mankind to implement big changes. And when I look at the leadership of the companies we work for, I don't see true leadership in Uber and Lyft. And I haven't seen any true efforts to tighten up security and safety, my friends. Right? How many people need to get assaulted, raped, murdered in our industry, in our rideshare industry, before safety and security laws change? Before we as the driver feel safer, before the rider in the car. Look at that. Jamaican flag in the mix, right? And we continue, and I'm just going to keep on walking and walking through hundreds and thousands of flags, right? It just saddens me that, a guy like CEO Derek Kay today comes out and uses the words ruthless. We have to be ruthless, right? And they chopped another 435 jobs. But what he's not doing, he's obviously trying to send a message to Wall Street, hey, we're putting Band-Aid after Band-Aid on here, we'll stop the bleeding. But what are you doing, Derek Kay, for drivers? What are you doing for their safety and security, right? I don't see you do anything. And again, like I said, it's sad that it took this tragedy to bring big changes in safety and security at airports all around the world, right? And we haven't had another incident like this since 9/11/2001, where people have flown into buildings and killed thousands and thousands and thousands of citizens, right? So we got to look at this day, and the only reason why I'm drawing the parallel here is I don't want us in 5 years or 10 years time. There we have I'd say an Italian flag in the midst of hundreds and hundreds of US citizens that lost their lives, right? I don't want us to look in 5 or 10 years time that we have to start erecting flags for drivers, riders, toddlers that have died in our industry because we did nothing about it, right? because we didn't have the decency, we didn't have the executive leadership, we didn't have competent CEOs to do something about safety and security for the rideshare industry. People shouldn't be represented in form of a flag, my friends. Absolutely not, right? And I mean, I'm literally walking past real people here, you know. These flags represent real people. El Salvador. I see a Korean flag. I see a British flag in the midst of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that lost their lives. And we should never forget. And we shouldn't go down in statistics, my friends. Right? So we have an opportunity here to change things. And I want to read to you. Dear visitor, each flag that snaps in the wind, rests in calm or shines in the warm, bright sun, stands as a witness and memorial of an individual who perished on September 11, 2001. As time passes and new beginnings soften painful memories, each year we remember the ones we lost and pay tribute to their lasting legacy. All are welcome to the Waves of Flags installation to pause, reflect and pray. Stay as long as you wish. And as you travel beyond this experience, carry with you the sense of hope and gratitude that permeates throughout this moving display, hosted by the Pepperdine University. In memory of all those who lost their lives on 9/11/2001, in memory of all the families that have suffered since and are grieving the loss of their loved ones, may this never ever happen again. Right? This is just a reminder 18 years later of what can happen when you don't tighten up your safety and security laws and you're on top of the game all the time. Each time I drive into, I'm very proud of the security moving cars along, checking, making sure, and they're putting their lives on the line, keeping us safe, right? But they don't want another accident like this to happen, folks. I mean, look at this. I'm walking parallel to the ocean here, Malibu. May see the blue in the background. That's the ocean, right? Right in front of me there, as you can see it, that's PCH. That's Pacific Coast Highway, folks. See where those cars are? Goes all the way north up to Santa Barbara, all the way south down to Orange County, San Diego. Someone was sweet enough to leave a little message here. September 11, 2001, never forget, never again. Wanda the Promrod at my staff, Bantaudong Elementary School. An individual paying respect to thousands and thousands of people who lost their lives. And I guess the deeper meaning of today and the reason why I stopped here, obviously to pray for all of those who lost loved ones, praying for all of those who keep us safe. I was in the army for 2.5 years. I saw some pretty horrific stuff. Somebody says the video is frozen. Can you guys see this? Can anybody give me a little thumbs up? I'm in a very bad reception zone. Can anybody, is it working fine? Back on? Am I still frozen? Thumbs up? Thank you, Roy. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, John. So my deep message here is firstly, gratitude to those individuals who are keeping us safe, right? And that we didn't have something like this happen for 18 years. This opened our eyes. And as I mentioned in the very beginning of the video, security and safety laws changed, right? And if we have so-called leaders in Uber and Lyft that could learn from this, they could maybe look at a day like this and say, you know, after this day in 2001, many security and safety laws changed. A lot of money was poured into safety and security to keep citizens safe. And those companies have the same duties towards their drivers, don't you think so? To keep us safe, right? To spend the money on the apps, to spend the money on safety for all drivers, all riders. After all, I mean, we got them to the IPO, right? We got Travis Kalanick's $36 million mansion. We made a lot of these people wealthy on our backs, right? And the least they owe us, the very, very least they owe us, is to keep us safe in our office, our cars. Our cars are our office, right? And we shouldn't go down in statistics or history books. And there should never be a park like this ever dedicated. Wow, look at this. I actually found a South African flag. This touches me. I mean, I'm born US, but here I see my flag, one of my South African brothers and sisters. These are all my brothers and sisters. Just to see this flag, this South African flag in the midst of all the red, white and blue just hit me there for a second, right? Derek K. Logan Green, watch this video. Learn from this video. Put your greed and your selfishness and your ego aside. And just understand for 1 second how important security and safety is for every citizen, for every driver, for every rider. If they can do it at airports, if they can implement stronger IDs, new background checks, more scanning systems, tighter spend money on security, on TSA, on all these things that cost millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, you know, what they're doing is preventing a catastrophe like this ever happening again, right? And I hope they learn tomorrow on 9/11, and they realize, that money isn't everything. Hey, if you've been to the army, it's I don't know, it's quite chilling, how easily you can be there one day and you can be gone another day. It's a lot of flags. I mean, these people represent, these are the fallen at 9/11, 2001. Every person that lost their life in New York, in the Twin Towers, at the Pentagon, in the plane, every single one of these people is captured here, right? In the sea of flags, a tribute that they do so beautifully each and every year. And my point being is that safety and security, folks, that's where you got to implement the technology. They could do it at airports around the world. Why can't they do it in rideshare apps? I believe this is a Portuguese flag. I believe, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I do think I see an Argentinian flag I see a Swiss flag. This could have been, die Leute aus der Schweiz. Hier haben wir eine Schweizer Flagge auf dieser Parade hier auf 9/11/2019. Vielleicht war es ein Schweizer Banker, man weiß nie, aber das Schöne ist, diese Person wird nie vergessen sein. Aus der Schweiz, in Switzerland. You'll always be remembered. We will keep you remembered here every year, right? And let's keep on spending the money where it needs to be spent, improving technology, especially technology in the safety field, background checks, security, safety in the cars, safety devices for drivers, abolishing pool, bringing in background checks so we don't become a statistic, right? Should never ever become a statistic. Brothers and sisters, Israel, one Israeli in the sea of American flags. Again, for those who are just coming into this video, I'd like to read to you. Dear visitor, each flag that snaps in the wind rests in calm or shines in the warm, bright sun stands as a witness and memorial of an individual who perished on September 11, 2001. As time passes, a new beginning soften painful memories. Each year we remember the ones we lost and pay tribute to their lasting legacy. All are welcome to the waves of flags, installations to pause, reflect and pray. Stay as long as you wish, and as you travel beyond this experience, carry with you the sense of hope and gratitude that permeates throughout this moving display. And that is wonderfully done by Pepperdine University. It's nice to see people young and old stopping by here, paying their respects to these individuals. History is captured here, never ever ever be forgotten, right? Yeah. Spend all that money on balloons, they could actually, spend that money on flags and at least let it be something meaningful, not party balloons. It's just sad that we have such incompetent leadership such as Derek Kay. It really is. It really, really saddens me that so riders and drivers, and there's a lot of them, right? If you think of it as 3 million drivers and tens and tens of millions of passengers worldwide, you never want to go down as a statistic, right? You never want to be at Sunday represented as a flag because the companies failed you and didn't do anything on safety and security. Here I can say people kicked into action right away and spent the money where it was most important, tightening up security and safety after 9/11/2001 was the number one priority. And the number one priority right now for Uber and Lyft, even if you just watch the news of this last month, how many people got injured and killed, that should send a shockwave to those individuals who run these companies, who more like siphon and take the money from these companies, right? So, been good exercise, walking through all these beautiful flags here for 30 minutes, allowing it to all sink in. I think it's great that parents take the kids down here, educate them about this day. Kids might just see the joy in the little flags blowing in the wind, right? Definitely not as jaded as adults are, right? They see the joy and the joy of little kids running around, see, exercising. And there, down there on Canaan in Malibu, you can see my vehicle over there, the Escalade. And I'm going to be heading up and picking up my kiddos right now. PCH up front. Ocean. Thank you to all of you who walked and shared this experience with me. Thanks to the people that put this out there in memory of those people every year, so that they're never ever forgotten. Anyone who's visiting California at this time, I encourage you to come down here. Love you too, Gary. I appreciate, love you all. Just wanted to acknowledge, together with my friends, my family in this house, together we acknowledge these individuals. We people that care. We are people in this house that care about other people, that are compassionate, that have gratitude or grateful for what we have. And, we keep on pushing for change, my friends. That's what we do. So, John Bauer, I appreciate you. James, much love back, my friend. Thank you for saying that. And these are these moments we got to take out in our life and just acknowledge that the world can be a cruel place, and that we should do everything in our power to keep peace and harmony and love wherever we are, right? So prayers to all of those. Prayers, Mark, I appreciate you. Much love to Vegas, to all the amazing people in the live feed. I wish you a great day. And again, thank you for being there. Thank you for participating. Thank you for walking these flags with me. Much love, my friends. Take care.